What's going on, everybody? It's Joel here with as many reviews as possible, and today we're doing the review of the Inov-8 F-Lite 195v2. Alright guys, so the original 195 was my very first CrossFit shoe, so it was really exciting for me to get my hands on the upgraded model for 2017, the 195v2. So from a look standpoint, the new 195 looks a lot like the original 195. A lot of the styling cues remain the same between the two shoes. You still have the stripes on the side of the 195. They are just now underneath the mesh upper of the brand new 195. The toe cap is still there, but it is a brand new PU material versus this kind of rougher material on the older model. New for the 2017 model, there are now eyelets for the laces to go through compared to the older model. Now while the 2017 195 kind of looks the same as the original model, it feels completely different. The new upper is a very thin, lightweight, flexible mesh material. It's not as plush as the original 195s, but it's still very comfortable, and it's way more flexible than the originals, and the originals were really flexible shoes. You're going to notice a little bit less padding in the ankle collar area, giving you a more minimal feel throughout the whole shoe. There is actually a heel counter that is embedded in the back of the shoe, and there's this YPU frame for support. Overall, the new upper gives you a more sock-like feel in the 195s and is even more barefoot friendly because of just how breathable that mesh upper is. Now, one area that we don't really see a huge change on is the outsole and midsole combination. From a visual standpoint, they are exactly the same. You still have the Metaflex grooves at the toe. You still have the dynamic fascia band in the midfoot of the shoe and the Rope Tech guard in the lateral portion of the shoe. The new 195 still uses an injection molded midsole that they are now calling the PowerFlow midsole, which should give you a little bit better shock absorption at the heel and a little bit better energy return at the toe of the shoe. Now while the midsole looks the same as the original model, the drop is now 4mm compared to the original 3mm, and the stack height has been slightly increased. It's not a ton, but I think it's only like 3 or 2mm or something in that range. You don't really feel it at all, and I actually felt like the new 195 is a little bit lower to the ground than the original 195. When sizing your 195 V2s, I recommend that you go half a size down from your typical training shoe size. Normally I wear a size 10 in my Metcons and in my Nanos, but the 10 in the 195s was gigantic on me. Remember, it is the precision fit as well, so it is a slightly more narrow shoe. If you have wide feet, I would probably not recommend the 195, and instead I would recommend the 235s because those have a much wider platform than the 195s do. When it comes down to performance of the 195 V2, I have to say that these are currently in my top 5 training shoes of all time. The 195 V2 easily carries on the legacy of the original 195. When I think of a performance shoe, I think of something that can handle running, plyometrics, and weightlifting, and the 195 V2 handily does all of those very well. We've gotten to a point in training shoes where everybody's trying to make the stiffest and best weightlifting shoe, but they're omitting all the other things that you need to do to be a well-rounded athlete, like running and plyometric movements. A lot of the current training shoes are really good for weightlifting, but they suck for running. The 195 V2s can do anything. If you're looking to do some running, the 195s are an excellent choice because of just how flexible and lightweight they are. These are probably the most flexible training shoes on the market, and the midsole, while thin, still provides pretty good cushioning and energy return for running. Now those same features make doing plyometric movements awesome in the 195 V2s. They are super comfortable to wear for doing burpees, box jumps, double unders. They don't really fatigue your feet at all because they are so flexible. Now, if I had to say that there was any weak area to the 195 V2s, it's that they're not the best Olympic weightlifting shoes, because they lack the structure that, say, the Nike Metcons have and the Reebok Nanos have. The 195s allow your feet to move a little bit too freely, and that takes away from landings when you're doing Olympic weightlifting, but power delivery is excellent because the midsole stack height is so low to the ground. You're not really pressing through anything, so things like squats and deadlifts where you can get a little bit better of a setup are actually really good in the 195 V2s. Still, with the Nike Metcons and the Reebok Nanos, you're sacrificing a lot to have that stability, and personally I think that the 195s are the more well-rounded choice. Another thing that really helps the stability of the new 195s out is the heel counter that you don't see, but it's in there. See how I'm pinching the original 195s and it just collapses? I can't do that with the brand new 195 V2s, which is an excellent upgrade over the original models. Now, the durability has always been the Achilles heel of the 195. Originally, it didn't even come with the rope tech guard, so not even that many rope climbs would end up burning through the outsole and midsole combination. But the other one was that the upper was really plush and soft, so you would eventually develop holes in that upper. Now the 195 has the rope tech guard. The upper now is this nylon mesh material that is a little bit tougher feeling, but we'll see. Durability is yet to be determined. This is the shoe after about 7 or 8 rope climbs. Really going hard on the rope, but once again, that's not enough to tell the durability of the brand new upper, the 195. Now, another thing that kind of hurts the 195 is the fact that it costs $130, which falls in line with the more popular options in the Nike Metcon and the Reebok Nano. If you're used to buying Inov-8 shoes, this shouldn't faze you at all. But if you're new to the brand, it's easy to look over Inov-8 because they're just not Nike and Reebok. But otherwise, the 195 V2s are definitely worthy of the price tag. And these are, like I said, some of my favorite training shoes of all time. If you guys have any questions about the 195 V2s, feel free to leave them in the comment section. And as always, guys, please hit that like button, subscribe, and thanks for watching.